Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-binaries, and transgenders, this is the Ultra Heelz Wrestling Podcast, live from a brand new Bravery Studios in Garfield, New Jersey. We're still partially under construction, but we got the mics and the camera set up, so we up in here. It ain't perfect, but we up in here.
Yeah.
I am Darth Messiah, the Dark Side Savior, always and for everyone his worst behavior. Mr. DM, find me in your mama's DMs. Why? Because I'm trying to get my baby, nobody can stop me. And on the phone, as always, the OG, the triple OG of the Ultra Heelz.
Y'all already know it is. Your boy Alex the motherfucking Hill, a.k.a. the Stanley of podcasting, also known as leader of the Mr. McMahon group, and also known as the man to be a girl that took a cross face and run to a cross space 5 years running.
Yeah. And on the boards, the only man I can be mentioned in the same breath as the great Billy Graham, Superstar Sal.
What's going on, fellas?
How you living?
You didn't mess that up today.
No. I the week off, I had time to practice. I got my cadence down, so I nailed it.
A little weird, but no glass.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it's the first. Are we the first show in this building, or was there another show in this building?
I don't know. I think we might be.
Oh, look at that! We popped the cherry. We popped the cherry in the building.
Technically, no. I think we're the first because the last few podcasts I've seen posted has all been at the other studio.
And I think some of them like pre-records. They might have been last week.
Yeah, but I know they was at the other
Spoiler
studio.
alert.
I know
Spoiler alert.
Hey man, look, it's like WCW shit. We just told you what happened on Raw. You can't tune in over there to them. They already happened.
Yeah, they're like WCW Thunder.
Listen, Thunder gets a bad rap, but
It does.
It does.
I would probably watch Thunder over what WWE produces today.
Or like 2010 SmackDown. That was just as bad.
Oh, it was.
It's so weird because there's like so many different, like there was a period of time where like SmackDown was the shit and Raw was just not great.
I say like the dead like center of the PG era, SmackDown was just bleh.
Yeah.
Because they were still taping on Tuesday and the internet was kicking by then, so you knew what happened by Wednesday.
And it wasn't split rosters either. So
Yeah.
Usually it was kind of like the jabronis, not the jabron, but like, you know what I mean? They weren't going to put like the world title program on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
And while we're talking about B and C shows in wrestling, has anybody been watching AEW on Friday nights?
I have been.
I haven't. And I'm joining the other 400,000 people that no longer watch Dynamite.
Really?
The first week they were on Friday night, I believe the rating was like 526. And the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks, whatever it's been, they've been under 500,000. They've been averaging like 450,000 live viewers.
I don't think that could be.
They can average. Look, they can average 450,000 live viewers, but having a live crowd there has just been more better to watch at this point for me.
100% agree.
My thing is, if this is the time slot for Rampage when Rampage debuts in a couple months, they're fine with less than 500,000 viewers.
Oh, Calvin's in the chat. Let me read what he said. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Commissioner Calvin, and I am the most well-known commissioner throughout all the wrestling community. And he was right.
He absolutely is.
But yeah, I like swear. I've been watching it on Fridays because, I rarely watch SmackDown when it's live because I be doing other stuff. But AEW, I didn't normally could find it and watch it. Watching it with a live crowd just makes it better than watching it in the Thunderdome and watching people sitting in living rooms because you get to hear people really react again and have, basically follow the crowd. So it actually makes it worth watching. So even if people's not watching it on Friday nights, just watching it to see a crowd there is just more exciting to me now at this point.
Honestly,
I got tired of the wrestlers on the sideline trying to play the crowd.
Honestly, last week while we were off, I got home, I watched SmackDown, and I forgot AEW was on. I just completely forgot it was on. The week before, I just didn't watch it. I was tired. I was like, I'm going to sleep. But last week, I was up. I was doing shit around the house. I just forgot it was on.
But you know what? What you just said is a good example of why there might be less viewers. It's not what, like, for instance, even like when Raw or SmackDown or any show, Nitro, back in the day would get preempted, they would always drop in viewership.
Yeah.
Historic fact.
Because even back when SmackDown moved to Fridays, I was still sitting there on Tuesday like, where the fuck is SmackDown?
Right. You know what I mean? Because think about it, like people that, especially the age group of which watch AEW for the most part, it's like people our age.
Yeah.
And a lot of, especially with the world opening up, people are going out.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe there's like GCW. I don't think they run Fridays, but you know that's just an example of indie shows.
Yeah.
That some people will go to, like, hey, I can record Dynamite and still watch it,
Mm-hmm.
but let me go out and hang out with my friends.
Yeah. Yeah, because we live in the world of DVR and, apps and whatnot and pirating still.
App pirating, YouTube, Instagram, people showing live. Hell, there's even people on TikTok showing live events happening like from their phone while being live.
Right. And you could like be on Twitter and just, if there's a big enough moment, it'll be posted.
Now, I found an article that was talking about the taping schedule once Rampage launches. Tony Khan has announced that AEW Dark Elevation will be filmed before each episode of Dynamite. Rampage will then be taped after Dynamite in front of live crowds where they expect it to be hot. But in markets which likely fans won't stay and watch 4 hours wrestling, they will film it live at a separate venue on Fridays. Tony Khan also revealed that they have a new secured venue for AEW Dark that they will tape separately going forward.
I like.
Well, at least I like it. At least they have a plan set in motion.
So basically, you're taping Main Event, Raw, and 205 Live.
That's basically what WWE used to do.
That's
They
basically
still do it, I think. Well, not now, obviously, with nobody there, but I'm sure once the crowds come back, that's exactly what.
Yeah.
I could say this. I'm pretty sure I'm going to the one in the show in the Prudential Center because me and my buddies got tickets from last year. I don't think I'm gonna sit through
the
4 hours of wrestling.
Okay. It's for a Raw.
No, it's for Dynamite.
Okay. Oh, you're talking. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you were going to Blood and Guts originally.
Yes.
All right.
And I don't think I'm gonna be willing to sit. Especially with work the next day. Like,
Well, now we're talking about 4 hours because you're gonna you take one show ahead, you have the live show, and tape another show after. So you might even be there for like 5 hours because you need that little buffer between the shows.
a lot of wrestling. I don't
What
know
they
if I can handle that.
what they might do is they might do like how WWE was doing it before. If you went to a WWE live event, they would do one main event, like one Saturday main event. They would do one cruiserweight 205,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would start the show. But it was simple for them to do just one match apiece, and then when they showed it like Saturday Night Main Event and they showed 205 Live, it would be 3 matches. But if you looked at the crowd, it wasn't the same exact crowd. That's why they never really panned to the crowd as much. They always kept it on the wrestler.
Actually,
If
not a bad
AEW
idea.
does it the same exact way, if people start leaving, they probably just push the people that's staying to one side of the camera.
Yeah. And all the other thing WWE used to do, sometimes they would tape matches in the arena during like a backstage segment.
And then, like,
Yeah.
That's a good way to keep prevent getting a dead crowd because I don't care how big of a wrestling
Yeah,
fan you are.
Because
Sit
when
through
me and
5
Smooches
hours.
went to NXT at the Staples Center, bruh, that crowd was already so lit, and then they gave us 2 pre-matches before that. Bruh, by the time the show started, motherfuckers had already lost their voice, and they was so amped for the rest of the damn pay-per-view. It was like non-important at that point now. Like they didn't have to do much. Everybody was already amped for the first 2 matches that we had before the show even got started.
That's what it felt like watching Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd, like you said, the crowd being
Yeah.
there. I think they should just hold shows in empty arenas for the weeklies,
Yeah, I think we were talking about this last time.
and then because the way that
Oh,
crowd
do what
reacted.
WWE's doing. Go back to Thunderdome, but then when you want to have pay-per-view, you get a crowd.
Yeah.
It would
I'm
be
just
cool.
thinking, 'cause like
It'd
you
be
said
cool,
before,
but
the
at
way
the
that
same time, it'll
crowd
also
is.
still be annoying because then they're gonna feed in that fake 2K20 crowd noise. I hope they don't act like nobody noticed it, but I noticed it a while back, and then I realized what they were using. I said, bro, that's from 2K. They're using the crowd noise of 2K for background segments. What the fuck kind of shit is this?
Now, you were talking about people not wanting to sit for hours on end. WrestleMania 35, the last one in New Jersey. Remember they started at 6. The main card started at 6. What was the main event? Oh, Becky. When Becky held the titles, it was 12-17.
I watched the fucking show.
Yo, matter of fact,
Couldn't
you're
wait
right,
to
because
just
I
go
think
home.
Smooches went to that WrestleMania, and when she hit me up and she said she finally got home, it was almost 2 a.m. She was like,
Yeah.
bro, it was so packed in there, people trying to leave, but
And the
nobody
thing-
really wanted to leave. Everybody stayed.
And that was the year that WWE had made arrangement with New Jersey Transit to have later buses, have later trains, but they ran overtime, and those buses and trains were gone, and people were stuck in the stadium till the next morning because Ubers were like $200 trying to get out of there.
Oh, you are right, because Havoc went.
Yeah, I remember Havoc. Yep.
Havoc said he didn't get home till like 4:00 the next morning.
Yep. Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, sitting there for 6 hours plus the pre-show. If you got there for the pre-show.
But you know what? That's why when you get to the main event, everybody's fucking dead.
Yeah.
You don't
Or
have so much in it.
WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. That was another long one. That was another one that was like 6 hours. What was it?
Roman and Triple H was the main.
Yeah, that so dead.
And you know what?
So dead.
And it doesn't help with, all right, so you know going in that Roman Reigns is not a hot baby face.
And Triple H has those long, drawn-out matches.
Right, and you're going to put him on. I mean, I understand why you want to put him on last. He's the main guy. I get it. But then, do something to, like, just shorten up the show or something.
Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose were buried at hour 3. The crowd was dead by then. They started hour 3, and the crowd was dead.
That match, dude, I went into that match thinking, like, we're going to see, like, John Moxley of CZW.
Nope. They just threw some chairs in the ring, and Brock just suplexed them on the chairs. That was the whole match.
Me and my buddy was so fucking mad. But it is what it is.
And when Ambrose was on the Stone Cold podcast, he was like, "Yeah, I went to Brock." He was like, "What do you want to do?" He was like, "We'll call in the ring."
The problem with that is, and I could speak from a little bit of experience I have in hardcore wrestling matches. You can't just call them. I mean, you could call some stuff in the ring, of course, but like you want to know where you're going to be because it's going to be you got a lot of inanimate objects.
Yeah, but I take that as Brock didn't respect him enough to like even let him get a couple spots in.
That, or he just didn't want to work a hardcore match.
Well, and
Didn't he have a fight coming up? Didn't he have a fight? That was the summer he went on to the fight Mark Hunt. No,
I thought that was right after.
No, because
I thought that was the next Mania after.
I don't remember. Brock
Mark
USC
Hunt.
history is blurry with me right
Yeah,
now. I
it
can't
is.
really remember a lot of his shit. Like I know he did a lot of good things there, but I just can't remember what things took place around him leaving wrestling and then coming back.
It could be. I don't know.
it all gets kind of mixed up sometimes.
Anyway, moving on. Hold on. Which phone do I need to look at? Oh, everybody's having their babies now. Renee Paquette had her baby on Wednesday, and Brandy had hers yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Good for them.
Yeah.
They have not. Renee and Moxley have not revealed the name of their daughter, but on Wednesday, because on Wednesday Moxley hosted oral sessions. I saw like a 2-minute clip. It was hilarious.
Speaking of kids,
Datitude, nice,
my girl got that for me.
nice,
I like that.
nice. Yeah, so Moxley hosted oral session. I'm going to listen to this episode. I usually don't watch her show,
Neither do I.
but I'm going to watch it just to see what Moxley did for the whole show.
And I don't listen to her show for like the pettiest of reasons. Is the audio quality is horrific.
Oh, that's because she just films it in her freaking like home office.
I know, but I get it just drives me nuts.
I got you. And like I said, Brandy had her baby yesterday. The baby's name is Liberty Iris Runnels.
Yeah, that's a weird name.
Well, Liberty, I mean, Cody was just Mr. America, last week at the pay-per-view.
I can't say nothing. Me and my girl named our first son Godric, so
Yeah, well,
when it comes to weird names, I can't say nothing. I like that name actually, kind of though. Liberty.
Liberty Iris Runnels.
LIR.
Yeah, LIR. Yep.
Long Island Railroad.
Yeah, Long Island Railroad. Yep.
There you go. Hope she don't follow in her father's footsteps.
Yeah. Have you seen The Rock's recent? I'm sorry, not The Rock. Roman Reigns' recent tweet about The Rock and John Cena.
Oh yes, I did. I actually just read that yesterday.
Good for him. That's the Roman I want to see right now.
That's the Roman that we need, even though WWE is. They're thinking about turning him face again.
Yeah, I read that too. But
Are they really?
Yeah, they're talking about turning him babyface, which is entirely too soon. Let it happen naturally.
Because watch when the crowd comes, they are gonna cheer him. But like,
Yeah, don't just turn him babyface. Let the crowd turn him babyface, and then give it a couple months, and then just again do it naturally.
like you waited
I'm about to say,
7 years for this. You
Yeah.
wait a couple more
I'm about
months.
to say, do it like you did the Shield. You had the Shield getting booed every time, and you had them gradually going face until they turned on the Authority.
Yep.
And then the crowd cheered them on. That was the only one time I think they cheered Roman the hardest.
Yep.
That was a really good, well executed turn.
Yeah.
It really was.
Even going into that match against Sheamus, where Sheamus beat Roman for the title, Roman was on the uptrend, and then you just took the belt from him, and that's what ruined him when Sheamus beat him.
I think what ruined him was honestly, and I don't think it was his fault, but it seems like it was around that time. But CM Punk doing the Colt Cabana podcast where he was talking about how the Office wanted Roman to look strong, yada yada, that whole deal. And like, while as a fan, especially all of us watching it forever, we could kind of see that's exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
But when he went and said it, it's like that's all people needed to just like be like, oh fuck him.
And if I think a couple weeks ago, CM Punk tweeted Roman's the best in the business right now, so go figure.
Hey man, he looked. He was just like no. I don't think people realize CM Punk is a wrestler and also still a fan like everybody else is. And when he talks shit about people and then he turned around and changed his mind, it's because they did something that WWE should have did with them from the beginning. Like, oh, did you see the Stone Cold podcast with Mick Foley?
No, I'm not caught up on that.
Okay, so Mick Foley was asked a question: who is a wrestler that he wants to see on the rise through WWE? He looked at Stone Cold. He said, "When you started? 88, 89?" He was like, "Yeah." He said, "Around the same time I started." He said, "Look, Vince put us on a pedestal and said we was never gonna make it that far, and we broke through that glass ceiling, no problem." He said, "Vince, I am begging you," and he got down on both his knees. Give Cesaro a chance. Let him be him and be a champion. He said he can go through that glass ceiling the way you want him to, like we did. And Stone Cold looked at him. He said, "Vince, get him in a chance. Give him a good gimmick, or let him be the way he is, and then let him go. Let him be the guy." And I was like, "Damn, son." I said, "You got two legends saying that still Cesaro is still one of the best things out there, and why Vince still not push him the way they need to push him?"
And to me, Cesaro doesn't need a gimmick. He can be who he is.
Yes.
You know what the crazy thing about that? That's an old interview too.
Yeah. And because Cesaro, he's just a naturally likable guy. So he doesn't need a gimmick.
I hate when they turn him heel because like I don't want to boo the guy.
I mean, with the bar, I love the bar. But him as a heel single,
Like him as a heel tag team is great. Like him and Tyson Kidd when they was heel, I loved it.
Oh,
Him,
speaking of Tyson Kidd,
great.
I'm finally caught up on the New Day. I've listened to every episode of New Day podcast, except for the Byron Saxton episode. I refuse to listen to Byron Saxton speak.
Bro, you got to listen to Byron Saxton speak, bro. Because no lie, that podcast Byron Saxton, it lets you realize what could have been. But Byron, Big E, and Xavier Woods was the original New Day.
Really? I didn't know that.
They did cut promos, everything when they were all wrestling, and then they all got separated to do their own separate things, and then Byron Saxton became commentary, and the New Day became the New Day. But Byron Saxton was talking, and Xavier Woods go, "Byron, you remember when we was trying to start a New Day, but we had a different name, and we was going around doing promos like how the New Day does?" And Byron was like, "Yeah." Byron was like, "Literally, I was Kofi." He said he was Kofi Kingston without the lineage, like without the lineage behind him. He was supposed to be Kofi Kingston because he was just high flyer, fast paced, and Xavier Woods was supposed to be what he was, and Big E what he was. He said, and then my wrestling career didn't go the way it was. He said, and then I went to commentary. He said, "You bring Kofi Kingston in." He was like, "Bro, we did this shit way before WWE even thought about pitting three black men together. We was already doing this." He was like, "So technically, we was the original New Day." And Big E was like, "Yeah, we was the original New Day." And he was like, "No offense, technically, you were the original." He said, "Technically, you're the real fourth member of the New Day, still to this day." He said, "That's why we fuck with you so much and mess with you so much in the back." He said, "But you're still one of us." And I was like, "Wow." So that was the original New Day. I said that'd have been weird to see, but I never really got a chance to see Byron Saxton really wrestle. So I was like, I wonder what that would have looked like.
Right.
I feel like they'd have been more comedic instead of more heelish when they first came out.
Yeah. Also, in recent WWE news, I believe this was last week's breaking news. Marijuana is no longer on W's wellness policy checklist.
Oh yeah, I know. Because now WWE is all cool with RVD and him talking about his rolling papers all the
Yep.
time now.
And
That's
also,
that's gone.
also a little blurb came out about how Randy Orton has been beating the system for the last 7-8 years from whenever the last time he was suspended. He had his lawyer look into the policy. The policy is if you fail, you get suspended and you are fined. If you refuse to take the test, you just pay the fine. So you just don't take the test, pay the fine, and you're good.
Well, he's making bank, so he can afford that. Some little,
Yes.
opening match guy,
Yeah, that's another story.
But yes, I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
So Randy Orton beat the system. So apparently he has been taking wellness tests for the last however many years.
If you like ask me, like, all right, if there's one guy on the roster, who do you think could beat the system or who would do it? He would be my guess.
Yeah.
He'd been my biggest guess next to RVD being there.
Yeah.
Like him and RVD are my main two I will pick. I'll be like RVD and Randy Orton. Everybody else I'll be iffy on, even though some of them probably still do and some don't. Those are my both number ones.
Yep. So I think this will stop the next generation of, I guess, pill heads. So, you can now use marijuana for your pain relief and whatnot.
Hey man, look, you gotta think about it. RVD been doing it for years. That man been doing that 5-star fall splash off of every goddamn thing. You think he don't go back and light up a joint to ease them aches and pains?
Mm-hmm. And
now,
go ahead.
Now, wait. Just imagine if any other wrestler started doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
No offense. I feel like Kofi Kingston and Isaiah Woods would be like the next one. Even though they got kids, I feel like they would be the next one.
I'm trying to go down a list of people in my head who I think smoke, other than Riddle, obviously.
The king of bros.
I can Ziggler. I see that.
Yeah, I can see Ziggler. I can see Ziggler. I can see Isaiah, like I said, Kofi, like I said.
Bray Wyatt's got to be on some sort of
hallucination. Who?
Shit he thinks up, he's got to be doing something.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me peruse the roster real quick.
I can't think of no women that do it. I know the Usos don't do it.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure the Usos do. Now that you mention it, which means Naomi would. Let's see.
I know Tamina's not. I know Natalia's not.
Oh, obviously Bray Wyatt. Obviously he smokes.
Imagine Asuka smoking a joint, like just watching that.
Oh my God, that would be so funny to hear her in the back talking Japanese and hit that blunt one good time.
I see Bailey. I
could see that.
I see Sasha.
Okay, yes, Sasha. Street Profits.
Her and Snoop. Oh, definitely the Street Profits.
The Street Profits, yeah.
Sami Zayn.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Sami Zayn.
Yep.
I can see Zammy. I can see Adam Cole, and I can see Kevin Owens.
Corey
Graves. I know they
Graves.
were doing that shit back in PGW.
Corey Graves.
Oh, Ricochet.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't see Sheamus doing it. I don't see Cesaro doing it.
Elias.
I could see Elias smoking a blunt.
I see what's the dude that was with Elias?
Oh, Jackson Riker.
Yeah, I can see Jackson Riker, even though he like a jacked up tattoo version of fucking Mr. Long Island.
Yep. He looks exactly like Zack Ryder with short hair.
He gives me more of a cokehead vibe.
Son.
Really?
He gives me more of a cokehead.
Okay. Oh, Swerve and his crew.
First of all, you know Swerve is cool. If you follow Swerve on Twitter, when he posts a picture, I swear, because he raps and him and Lilo rap together.
Yeah.
I know they're in that damn studio here blowing it down.
Yeah. I want to say Jeff Hardy, but I want to believe he's sober.
I hope he is.
Yeah, I'm not going to put Jeff Hardy on the list because I don't want him to go back down that dark road.
I hope he is.
Morrison. I can see Morrison.
Yeah.
I can't see The Miz.
Nah.
I can't see The Miz doing it. Like, even if The Miz showed up on TV and was hitting the blunt, I'd be like, that's bullshit.
Damian Priest.
Oh,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, I see Damian Priest Spanish ass doing that.
Corbin.
I can see Keith Lee.
He seems like very like
He's
Like I
brutish.
just I see Keith Lee because you gotta think about Keith Lee is so cool and laid back for a man of his stature. Like he always is hot. So I feel like he will smoke it once in a while.
Yeah.
see Mia Yim being a pothead.
Word.
R-Truth. The fountain of youth. The eternal vampire.
Bruh, first of all, remember that one time he had that match with who was it, Cena? And he was sitting outside drinking that water. He grabbed a cigarette and started lighting up and started smoking it right there. I was like, yeah, he wished that was a blunt. He wished that was a blunt. He'd have hit that bitch hard.
Yeah. All right. What other? I'm trying to think. What other? Any other news from last week that we haven't talked about? We need to catch up on.
No, there wasn't really that much news. There's news this week because I know Mr. Thursday Night. I know Mr. Thursday Night from EPCW passed away yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here's one that we missed. I remembered. Andrade signing with AEW and his fight for creative control.
Boy, I'm surprised Tony Khan gave him that.
He can for the most part he can decide what matches he wins and loses. Basically, he's not losing to Marco Stunt, but he can't decide he's going to beat Kenny Omega. That's basically where we're at.
I think that's fair for somebody his stature. He's a supremely talented dude
Mm-hmm.
who I don't want to say he got the raw deal in WWE because like there's so many guys there, but like I could have seen him going to the top heel.
I don't want to say he got a raw deal. I say he's another victim of the stop-start push.
Yeah, and he just got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. Because when they were using him, it was good, but then they just stopped.
Right. Especially in NXT, they use him really well.
Yeah.
In NXT, they use him so very goddamn well. I was cheering this man, and I didn't get too fucked about it.
Think about him that like. So I feel like unfortunately he's better when he has somebody like Zelina Vega.
Uh-huh.
Or I guess now he has Vicky Guerrero, but I think Zelina Vega would work better. I like that dynamic there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got somebody for you, Selena Vega and Aleister Black smoking weed.
Oh yeah. Now,
Incense burning.
yeah. See, the Zelina Vega pairing, it's more of a modern feel where putting him with Vicky, it gives him more of the traditional Mexican,
It's the
like
easy thing to do. She's a Guerrero.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But
By marriage,
sure, but like she's still a Guerrero.
by insemination.
But I think like, if you're going to do that, why not put like, I'm not saying put Don Callis with him, but somebody like that. Somebody that.
Or Selena De La Renta.
or
She's out there.
That's a perfect thing too.
Anybody of full Spanish heritage that basically has a name that's got a lineage behind it with him is just going to make him seem better. Pinning him with Selena was a cool pairing because they had the same kind of energy for WWE. But I really kind of wanted to see Selena by herself wrestle.
Yeah.
More than be
Yeah.
his manager. Like they were trying to make her be Sunny without, all the super sex appeal. But at the same time, this girl can actually get in the ring and actually throw down with the best of them. I was like, I feel like y'all really just wasting her talent. Even though WWE, that's another news from last week. So WWE also wants to bring back Aleister Black.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, they already brought back Samoa Joe.
You know what's funny? They bring back Samoa Joe the right way, and I am okay with that.
Yeah, I like the enforcer role. Apparently, he's still not cleared for in-ring action. So if he's just going to choke people out backstage, I guess that's cool.
Look, I'm cool with the fact that when Regal was talking about stepping down and leaving because he couldn't deal with all chaos, and Karrion Kross came out and said what he said, and this Samoa Joe music played, and I was like, so Samoa Joe's going to be our new GM. I said, that's going to be crazy because Samoa Joe, I feel like Samoa Joe will be the worst GM you can have because if you piss him off, you're going to sleep. It's no Triple H and Mr. McMahon role of, I'm going to put you in a match. He's going to turn around and put you out of sleep and then put you in a match right after it. But making him an enforcer was probably the best thing they could do for Samoa Joe because it still shows that he still can train and still do stuff, but he just not ready for in-ring action. So it doesn't really non-use him like they did on Raw, where they just had him commentary. and talking shit to people, but he never did nothing. It just made him look soft. They kind of make him like how King was. You remember how King was when something went too wrong? King stepped in and got in the ring and actually wrestled just to protect certain people. That's what it feels like with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like the fact that he also choked up Adam Cole and said what he said. That was probably the best thing of that whole night. Told him to quit, put him to sleep, and Lily looked at him and said, when he wakes up, Mr. Regal wants his answer. I said, that's how you're supposed to be in a fucking enforcer. You're supposed to go in there and pierce somebody, fear in somebody's heart.
All right. What's up, George? George in the chat. He said, I came to tune into the hottest podcast in sports entertainment. Rah. And speaking of the hottest,
in Nigeria.
And speaking of the hottest sports entertainment promotions, we're going to start our fantasy booking, I guess. We still don't have a name for this thing. We got to come up with a name eventually. So tonight, me and Alex are going to reveal our promotion names and the titles that we will be using. Alex, what is the name of your promotion?
My promotion is called the OWF. And it basically stands for the Around the World Federation.
Okay.
And basically it's going to be Tony Khan's open door. I'm having everybody from everywhere, the indies, the main roster, small shows. Hell, I might even think about going and get some retirees just to show up for certain roles. I'm not like Vince and make them wrestle, but I'm gonna have them show up for certain roles because they got lineage and they know what they're doing over the course of years. But yeah, it's called the Around the World Federation. The Around the World Federation.
Okay, that makes me think about something. We never established like any guidelines. Okay, I'm gonna say we have to use people that are alive. They can't be dead.
Yeah, I know because I wasn't using Chris Walker. Once we thought about this, I was like, well, I ain't bringing nobody from the dead, so I'm gonna leave that alone.
Okay, so you're gonna say you want to use some older people? Are you like putting Ric Flair in matches? Are we going that far, or are we talking about people that are actually able-bodied?
No, people are able-bodied. Like I say, if I go get a legend like Ric Flair, he has a specific role, but he's not a wrestler.
Okay. I'm good with that. You
guys ever play the game EWR?
No.
It's like a booking game.
What game?
It's from like the mid 2000s.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun back in the day, but that's what this is reminding me of.
Okay, so my promotion is the EWCWE, Extreme World Championship Wrestling Entertainment. When you put ECW, WCW, and WWE together, you get EWCWE.
Oh, that's actually kind of nice.
A little long, but yeah, it's not bad.
I came up with that in like 5th grade. It was our backyard wrestling promotion. As when my friend that made an appearance on the podcast, we tried to throw him off a gazebo.
All right, that makes sense.
Tried to.
Well, the match never happened because the other party in the match backed out. So the gazebo, the over the edge gazebo match never happened. Although we booked it, it just never happened.
Don't take offense to this, but this name does sound like a name that would come out of a 5th grader. 5th grade backyard company. Yep, makes sense.
I was hardcore champion for like 4 months. I lost it in a pile of leaves in the special needs school parking lot.
Funny story. A buddy of mine who is the quote unquote European champion of our street wrestling federation.
Okay.
Him and another buddy of mine got into a fist fight. They're cousins, mind you. They got into a fist fight because the European champion wouldn't sell and wouldn't lose.
Wow.
So his cousin made him sell a little bit and then rolled him up like it just screw job kind of thing. But
no, I got rock bottomed into a pile of leaves, and that's why I lost. All right, Alex, what is your world championship?
Oh, now this is a funny thing. So I thought about it for a while, and I looked at a lot of belts. I literally a lot of belts because I'm actually still thinking about buying one.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going with the belt that still holds dear to me, and I'm going to the Attitude Era Winged Eagle Circle belt.
Are you serious? I picked the same one.
Yeah,
I picked the Globe belt.
I don't know why, but I love that belt. I think I watched like 16 YouTubers unbox that belt, and I still want it to this day. To me, that's my ultimate belt for a world title, next to the original ROH world title.
Okay.
I've always been partial to the WCW world title, that big gold belt.
See, I didn't want to go so cliche with that one, so I was like, you know what? Let me go with the Attitude Era WF belt. I guess that's because it's so iconic to us, because that was the biggest belt when we were children.
100%. I just think the other one looks like a world title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With the WWE Wing belt, it was a staple for the Attitude Era of that crowd of people.
Mm-hmm.
With the WCW belt, it was like it was made to look prestigious for the older generation of wrestlers before the Attitude Era.
Because that's the one Flair debuted in what, like 91?
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't get twisted. I love that belt, but I've seen that belt in person, and I've seen the Wing Eagle belt in person, and I was like, that Wing Eagle belt for some reason to me is just
it just does something
in my head. It looks more better in my head.
The Ruthless Aggression Era WWE title. I would like that one too. That was a good
one. Oh, the Undisputed one?
Yeah.
I mean, it had that feel where they tried to be prestigious with it, but there was something missing.
I just like the way it looked. It looked cool.
Especially
comparatively.
To me, it almost looked like a tag team belt. It should have been a tag team belt. Yeah.
To me, it looked like the European title took steroids. Not the European title, the Intercontinental original circle title took steroids and just got bigger.
I mean, I'm not knocking that one, but to me, it was missing something to make it wow.
When they put the spinner belt, that shit was terrible.
Yeah.
The spinner belt grew on me after Edge got it. He changed the faceplate. Definitely grew on me.
Yeah.
But when it was WWE symbol, it was like, I don't give a rat's ass.
No, for me, it was Miz. When they turned upside down and he made it stop spinning, that's when I was like, okay, this is pretty cool.
I didn't mind it when Cena had it because it made sense because he's the hip hop guy.
Yeah.
But once anybody that won it had the spinner deal, it's kind of like, it's kind of like.
Yeah. Okay, my women's title is the original TNA Women's Championship. Before they started calling it the Knockouts Championship. The circle one, all gold with a little crown on the top.
Have the white strap?
White strap, yeah. No. It was still black. It was still a black strap.
Yeah, but it was still black for a while.
That is my women's championship. How about you, Alex?
My women's championship is so far left field, but it's the Stardom women's title, the one like a star with the red belt. I don't know why, but after watching the women go so hard for that belt, I was like, I feel like that's the legit women's title that you should be fighting for. And I always liked it because red is my favorite color, so I chose that as my women's title.
Mm-hmm. How about your tag?
My tag team title is so weird of a title. The Evolve.
Okay.
Tag team.
Okay.
I just like the way it looks because it's not too cliche and it's not too over the top. It just looks like if you're a tag team, this is the belt that you need to win and you need to hold on to without having to be the belt of all tag team belts. It was just a tag team belt that made sense to me. And I also liked it because of the fact when they did like the trios version of it, they just added another belt.
Okay. So I'm going to go, believe it or not, I'm going with the AEW tag belts. To me, it has this perfect fusion of like the WWF title, the last WCW tag titles, and a little bit of like the Impact belts from like 5 years ago. It's like this perfect culmination of like some belts that I like.
Really like the TNA tag titles, like when Beer Money had them.
Yeah, those. Yep.
I also like the WCW tag titles, like when Harlem Heat had them.
Mm-hmm.
Tag titles like the Heart Foundation and like and stuff like that.
Yeah, Kelvin. So what is the name of your wrestling promotion? Let us know. You can join in on the fun. All right.
You are the commissioner.
Yeah, he is the commissioner.
You got some say so in that.
All right. So my mid-card title. My mid-card title is the final WCW United States Championship. The all gold one with the little flag up top. That is my mid-card title. That's one of the best, secondary titles to me ever.
I can go with that. My mid-card title, IGPW Intercontinental title.
Okay.
Because that right there is, I feel like that is a more prestige mid-card title that lets you know if you could win this, then you definitely could win a world title somewhere down the road.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm kind of upset that they did unify it with the World Championship because what are they using for their mid card right now? What is it? The open weight? Is that their mid card now title now?
They have a United States title too?
But they use it differently, don't they? The United States one.
They use it differently. Their United States is used almost like
it's literally like a United States championship. It's mostly the guys that work here.
Yeah, because they the only ones travel outside of Japan over here to like show it off and defend it more than having a Japanese guy that probably can't speak really good English.
Yeah,
come over here with it and then try to promote it. It wouldn't make that much sense.
Because if you look at who their U.S. champions have been, it's been Omega, it's been Cody, Moxley, Archer, Juice Robinson. So look at the people that have been champions.
Literally the United States.
Yeah, it's literally all American people. So
And Kenny Omega, but North American.
Canadian, but he's not from North Carolina.
I love that entrance, by the way.
I don't like Justin Roberts.
I don't
like his voice.
I just like that part. It just makes me laugh. When the North Carolina part and Omega's entrance, for some reason, I always get a chuckle out of that.
Because it's a shot at Jim Cornette.
And it's just hilarious. Like, clearly, he's not from, you know what I mean?
Oh, Kelvin's promotion is Death Row Wrestling Federation.
Oh, I'm watching the hell out of that.
Kelvin, is this all death matches?
If it is, I'm definitely watching all of that.
Okay, now I picked a second mid-card title because I want to have a very unique division in my promotion. I'm taking the MLW Openweight Championship. However, I am applying the rules of the Ring of Honor Pure Championship. I want to have 10-minute TV matches, time limit, so you can have a draw. My title match is going to be 30-minute time limits. You can still have a draw on the title match. We're taking really old school rules. If you purposely throw your opponent out the ring, it's a disqualification. We're enforcing countouts, 5-second countouts, 10-second countouts. We're gonna have a point system. We're going sports based with this. There's gonna be stats for wins and losses, things like that. So I want to have a pure division, but I want to use the MLW Openweight Championship to do so because it's going to be anybody on the roster that just wants to get in the ring and grapple, have a real grappling match.
So now I got a question for you.
Now,
since you got the Openweight Championship, which implies anybody can go for it.
Correct.
All right.
We can have Keith Lee versus Drake Maverick.
So, but let's say hypothetically speaking, you got Rey Mysterio on your show. Is he going for the world title? Because that would defeat the purpose of the Openweight title.
This is true, but again, it's the open weight. Anybody can compete for it, but it has to be under this specific set of rules. That's my thing. Because like I said, I want to apply the rules of the pure champion from Ring of Honor, but I'm going to tweak it a little bit. But I just really like the design of the MLW Openweight Championship, and like I said, I want it to be open to anybody. I don't want to have here's a junior heavyweight belt.
I like the idea. I just think also that if that is the case, somebody like Rey Mysterio size should not be going for the heavyweight title because that's what the Openweight title's for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I do like the idea.
Yeah. I would throw Cesaro in this bracket, somebody like that.
Yeah, because I feel like and a lot of companies don't do this for some reason, but watch MMA, UFC, for instance. The middleweight championship is just as prestigious as the heavyweight championship.
Yep.
I don't think wrestling does a good enough job of doing that, which is why you'll have Rey Mysterio going up against Roman Reigns in Hell in a Cell.
I guess because of WCW and the cruiserweight division, they just vanilla midgets. They got pegged as one thing, and for the last 25 years, junior heavyweights, cruiserweights, whatever you want to call them, they've always been that.
But I think it doesn't hurt to have for instance, a Rey Mysterio versus Psychosis. I mean, if you would have, the matches were great enough. If you would have put some steam behind them, why couldn't they have main evented a pay-per-view?
Well, if you want to go way back and have Tiger Mask and Dynamite Kid, they're not technically cruiserweights by weight, but they did cruiserweight things.
Right, and who's to say why couldn't they have main evented a show?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for a belt. You know what I mean? It just depends on how you push these people.
Kelvin's going to have regular and death matches, so I'm cool with that.
I'm okay with this.
Do you have a second mid card title or anything else on your show?
Yeah, I have a second mid card title, and this is a mid card title that I feel like will be. It's a mid card title to me that I feel like will be enjoyous for just people that like, if they don't feel like they can get heavyweight status or get that bracket, that will be their brass ring of a belt. Like how almost like how the 24/7 is, you know. Even though we know it's a joke title, it's probably the most prestigious thing in there for our truth at this point. So I'm going with the ECW TV television title.
Okay. I feel that.
Great choice.
And yeah, and how I want to have it is how how the X Division had it as a belt. If you could win that belt and you can hold it for a set amount of defenses, you should be able to trade it in for a one-time opportunity for the world title. And if you fail at that, you have to go back down there for the television title and start all over again.
I like that. I like that we both almost thought alike, but in different ways. We took the second mid card and did something special with it.
You have to separate it somehow.
Because that's what WWE and other things are missing. You make a mid card title, and then it's just a belt.
Yeah,
being used for nothing.
I always
TNA kind of did it with the X Division title, where they made option C. They kind of did it with that, and that's what put in my mind. I was like, that's probably the coolest thing ever. Because if you win the X Division title, you have an opportunity, like almost like Money in the Bank, without having to, I could do this. No, you can still defend that title and show how good of a champion you can be. And if you feel like you're ready to step up to the big leagues, option out, option into a different bracket.
Yep.
You can be a small guy and held that belt for like half a year. And if you feel like, okay, look, I held up half a year, I done defeated everybody that came my way, I done did every match I can, I feel like I deserve a title shot at the world title, and I feel like I might can do the same thing, go ahead, option see it. Go ahead and turn it in and go ahead and go give you a shot. Because I feel like everybody deserves that one shot that they probably would never get in their life.
Did like the option C thing they did with Austin Aries.
Yeah.
But I feel like it only works because like after that it's like it's a great idea, but like, all right, so let's say you're Suicide and you got the X Division title at that time where that time comes around. Either you keep it like a jabroni, or you give it up and you just know you're giving up the title.
Yeah. Now, what was the name of your promotion again?
Around the World. It's Around the World Federation. So the OWF. You know, sad thing is, when I thought about this, I got in Photoshop and I started playing around with some artwork of it. And I started trying to make a logo for it, and I think I might come up with a real legit good logo for it. I might get that on a T-shirt for real, just for the fuck of it.
Okay. And this was a nice launching point for this little series that we're doing.
Yeah. Now, what's next though? Do we go through who we're gonna have on the shows, or do we go for people in the back that have certain roles?
I think I want to do. I think next I want to do like have like your commissioner, do your commentary, your ring announcer, maybe pick a couple referees. I want to go that route next.
I got a question for you guys to spice this up a little bit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You guys do almost like a real kind of, because you guys got pretty much separate titles.
Yeah.
Why not do like a real kind of draft where it's like you guys can't use the same guys?
That's why I want to hold off on like actual picking talent, because I like the draft idea where we just sit down and we start picking people every week.
Right. Like I think it's like, and you can't, like, obviously you have to have a few names because you can't pick the same guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, we both can't be like, oh, well, we both choose Cesaro. Nah, you get Cesaro, then that's it for me. I got to go a whole nother route.
And we're going to use WWE rules. If you want to take one person out of a tag team, you can do that. Like, let's say I want to take Kofi Kingston, but fuck Xavier Woods. He's now a free agent.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yes.
We will use those rules.
Can we mix and max tag teams if they become rogue like that?
Well, it's your company. You could
yes, you can do whatever you want. Like if you want to take two people and make them a tag team, I say that's fine.
Give them their own gimmick and stuff. Like, then play around with it.
But then this is going to be fun because I got some tag teams.
Like if you want to take Riddle and RVD and make them the 420 Bros.
You know what? That would be a dope name for them, and I feel like if RVD want to wrestle, that's the team. That's the team name. I want them to have tag team titles, and I want them to hold it for a while. I see them in the back of a caravan with smoke coming out the window, sitting there talking, cutting promos.
Or Riddle VD.
That would be actually really fun.
Oh, that's it.
The Rascals did something like that in TNA, like whenever they were there, like last year or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they actually
I ain't
showed them
gonna lie,
smoking, but like you could tell, you know what was going on.
Yeah.
The Rascal shit was cool because they literally had their own clubhouse, and literally they were just in there chilling, talking shit, and talking about times they wrestled certain people and stuff. It was actually dope to watch them do that because it kind of gave them a different feel instead of them just being generic guys who wrestled and you knew who they were. It kind of gave them personality outside of the ring to make you know what they was about in the ring. Almost like how the New Day was. Like when the New Day used to come out and used to cut their promos, and they like didn't wrestle. It was cool to watch them do it. But then once they got in the ring and they started doing some action, you was like, okay, yeah. So now I see why they chose these roles as outside guys, and now they're wrestling together. So I can understand their roles. But before we go any further, can we talk about one thing, bro?
Go ahead.
Can we talk about the drip Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods been wearing with this green and white Ranger outfit?
Okay. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
It got so popular so quick. IGN was talking about it. New York Comic Con was talking about it. A lot of comic books, even the Boom comic books and Saban was talking about it.
Damn.
It's gotten so much push for it because it's so out of left field that they did that, but it fits them to a T. And I follow the person that makes their outfit, and she put up the drawings for the Green Ranger little jacket hoodie. I think about making it myself. I need that in my life. I'm so happy they did that.
You guys watch In Your House?
Yeah. I was just about to jump over to In Your House.
The Rascals got me thinking about that. I don't know, because they were the only match I enjoyed.
Really? You didn't like the 5-way?
I did, but I 5 ways could get really
Messy.
And
really
jumbled,
messy,
whereas the 6-man
was
great. I love 6-man and open shows.
There's not enough people in there to give you a good show. It's like it's so much chaos going on. It's kind of hard to really focus.
Yeah, because
on it.
it's almost like you're watching 3 matches at once.
I will say that was my second favorite match.
Okay. I did not enjoy the women's title match.
I did.
It was definitely, as much as I want to like Raquel Gonzalez, she's not interesting in the ring. She needs someone to lead her through a match.
You know what's funny is like I used to really be a big fan of Ember Moon.
I never was. I never got it with her.
Her original her original NXT run, I was a big fan. And after that, I kind of dropped off. So I think that's one of the reasons why I just wasn't interested. I like Raquel Gonzalez. I do.
Yeah, I want to like her, but again, she needs someone to lead her through a match. Like the Io Shirai match was really good.
Right, and then it's like, what are they doing with her? Is she a babyface? Is she a heel? Like it seems like they just go back and forth. Like it seems like they're going towards making her a babyface, but then they go back.
Yep.
Like the weirdest thing.
Yeah, because she won the title as a heel, but then she did this inspirational "look where I came from" kind of promo.
And the program with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler that 2 weeks or whatever it was, and then now she's a heel again. It's the weirdest thing.
Well, that kind of makes it because like you brought in the super heels, they're outside people, so they have to be the heels. So your person is the baby face when the outside person comes in.
100%, but at the same time, you can't just revert them back right away.
Yeah.
And it's like, why not do like a heel thing? Like be an actual heel, like just be a better heel. Whereas you're letting them play up the babyface thing, and now it's like I want to like this person, but now they're a heel again.
Yeah.
That's the WWE mode. That you can never have a real true heel on heel match or true face on face match. Somebody's got to be the odd man out for that kind of match. But I'm with you on that one. I would love to see a heel on heel match so we can see who's the real top heel. I would love to see a real face on face match so we can have a real good match between two good competitors. It would be cool as hell, but WWE mode don't fly like that with them.
One of my favorite matches I've ever seen on the Indies live was there's 2 heels. One was a guy named Talon, the other was a guy named Papadon. And literally the first 10, 15 minutes of the match was just them out healing each other. But doing it in a good way. It was also somewhat funny, but it was entertaining.
That's like the first time I saw Darius Carter. Darius Carter fought somebody that was a heel, and they were just trying to outdo each other. And Darius Carter was winning every time. And I was like, bro, why don't they do this on regular television? Like,
you can't out-heel Darius Carter.
No, you can't.
You can't never out-heel him. Well, I don't know. I really want to see him and MJF, a scarf versus scarf match.
Yo, that would be dope as fuck.
Cause those two dudes are the only guys I know right now in the industry that they don't break character. Like outside of wrestling, they don't break character. I feel like they break character once they're in their home, but once they lock their door, that they in character mode 24/7 after that point. To have them two be a heel and go against each other, I feel like that would be like the ultimate heel versus heel indie match at this point.
Darius Carter.
I'm surprised Darius Carter ain't been on fucking AEW Dark just for the fuck of it at this point.
Word.
He needs to, dude. Darius Carter is actually like, too. I'm sure you guys would, but he's one of the nicest people. He's one of the only wrestlers who has like a somewhat decent name on the indies, like especially in this area. But he'll go out of his way to talk to everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
He's not just gonna go hang out at the main event and just stay over there. Like he'll talk to anybody.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. Sorry, Dan.
I'm about to say, our very first what was that wrestling match we went to in, what was it, Brooklyn?
I believe
I think
so.
it was Battle Club.
Yeah.
Like Battle Club Pro or something. He was there, and we wanted him to cut a promo. He was so in character he didn't want to do it. But then, like after the show, after everybody left, and we stayed there and helped put up seats and shit, he came to the side and talked to us, and that was like the dopest shit ever. I was like, he broke character after he realized all fans was gone and the wrestlers was just here, and he broke character. And I was like, that was fucking dope. I was like, because he literally stayed in character. Like when we actually talked to him, he just looked at us like we was beneath him and kept it moving. I said, you know what? I can't even be mad at him. I can't even though I might can choke him out with no problem and toss him around, I can't be mad at this man.
And on tonight's SmackDown, why are we having a Hell in a Cell match with Roman and Rey Mysterio? Why are they doing that tonight?
I was going to ask you what you thought about it.
I didn't know about that until I got on Twitter this afternoon, and it was like the first time SmackDown is having a Hell in a Cell match on Friday. I was like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I remember they did one on Raw years ago, and then they had a dark match, Hell in a Cell match, once upon a time.
They have to have something up their sleeve for Sunday, though, right? That has to be the reason.
I'm thinking something weird's gonna. Well, actually, my boy at work came out with this. Something weird's gonna happen. Like Rey Mysterio's gonna come out, and all of a sudden Dominic's just gonna shove Rey and go in the cell and lock the door, and he's gonna have the match, or something stupid like that.
You know what's funny? I would be okay with that, because then it would make more sense for when Hell in a Cell happens. Their match will probably make more sense story wise.
Yeah.
Or Dominic.
But just to have this
Title shot
and
on
then turn
Sunday.
around and have another one would be dumb.
Yeah. So right now, there's only 4 matches booked for Sunday. It's that stupid Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler. I don't know why we're having that match. I really don't.
Well, Alexa Bliss need to get back in the ring, so I guess they was like, this is the best option we can have for you right now.
But again, they need to just let the Fiend gimmick go. And even with her, just let it go. I'm done with it.
You know what's funny? I would say the same thing, but since Alexa Bliss been on the scene, she's been the same character.
Yeah,
and it's starting to get bland of her just being that Alexa Bliss. So her doing something different is all right with me for the time being, because it's making me want to rewatch her again. But if she goes back to that original character, she's going to become like how Charlotte is to me. I can give 2 flying fucks.
Yeah. So we also have Bianca versus Bayley booked, and we have Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte booked. So you've got three women's matches.
We got 3 women matches.
So right now, the only men's match that is official is Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre inside the cell.
I feel like we're going to get Cesaro and Seth Rollins too.
Yeah, that will probably happen. They'll probably set it up tonight, because it is not official yet. And it's
what are we going before we go? What are we going to do about the Usos and this whole little shit that happened last week?
Okay, here's the long game. I don't know how or when, but something's going to happen to Jay. And Jimmy's going to want to have to try to help save Jay. But then something's going to go wrong, and Roman ends up saving Jimmy. And that's what Jimmy will finally acknowledge the tribal chief. I don't know how to do without some sort of baby face in it.
Prisoner, I think they put themselves into a corner, to be honest with you.
I feel like they did. I feel like they wrote themselves into a corner, and they don't know how to get out of it at this point now.
It's great storytelling, but how do you get out of it?
Or let's see. Let me try to make it a little more vicious. Maybe Roman's just standing there watching Jay get beat up, and like, I don't know, maybe like Jimmy's like handcuffed to the turnbuckle or something, and he's like, do something, do something. If you want me to do something about it, acknowledge me.
You know what? That would make more sense.
Character, that's actually not terrible.
That's a little more vicious.
Like, why would anybody follow him after that? But yes, I can see Roman character doing that for sure.
Yeah.
Either that, or he go the same route he did with Jay, and he threatened to take him off the show and his brother if he don't fall in line.
Yeah, many possibilities. All right, let's get out of here. I have been Darth Messiah from the new luxurious amenities of Bravery Studios. I've been Darth Messiah, the Dark Side Savior, and you, sir.
Alex the motherfucking Hill.
And we are out. Good night, Superstar Sal.